Hello, you all. So in this video, I'm going to share with you why I decided to get Sisterlocks, what I did to prepare for Sisterlocks in the past 3 months, but also how the journey is going, because today is day 4 since my installation. So if you want to understand and know why I got Sisterlocks and you want to hear all the statistics, stay tuned. So my name is Miriam. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. So the main reason why I got Sisterlocks is because I was ready to fully embrace me. And for the past, I'd say 10 plus years, I have worn my hair in protective styles, but that protective style usually included cornrows and a wig. I'm almost 36 years old. And I realized that somewhere in my journey, I became more protective of the wig, y'all, than the protective style itself. And how did I know that? Because I did not know. I didn't know. But I began to realize that when there was this internal conflict within me, and I share about it in this video right here that you can also watch, where I knew I wanted to actually wear my hair out. And I remember some loved ones even asking me, when are you going to start wearing your hair out? Even my daughters, mainly my daughters who wear their natural hair out. And I love that for them and have always wanted it for them, but I wasn't modeling it for them. And so this is not condemnation or being critical of myself, but it's important for us to be reflective of why we do what we do and to just examine our behaviors and our beliefs and what may be behind the behavior, like getting to the root issue. Okay. So I would tell them, well, I want my hair to reach a certain length. And that was always my goal. It was for it to reach a certain length, a certain thickness. That wasn't happening. And so I continued to buy the hair wigs, love them kinky straight wigs. Oh my goodness. Like it was my go-to, but then I began to also recognize that I am putting this wig on even at times I don't need to, or like developing this attachment to it anywhere I'm going, right? Because my hair is it looks a certain way, cornrowed, that I would not want it to look if I just wore it in that way. And so I felt like I had to have it on because that was the style. But then I began to recognize that I really do want to wear my hair as it is. And it seems like each year that passes by, my hair isn't fitting the visual image that I'm seeing. And a part of the reason was because I'm comparing it to the wig that I have, this thickness and fullness, and it's super long, and how I thought I needed to look in order to finally achieve this place of euphoria when it comes to how I think I am supposed to look. And y'all, this is what really got me too. I have 2 sons as well. I have 4 kids. And my 3-year-old, my kids, obviously they watch you, right? And so they would see me put it on, right? Even though, right, I have hair, they know that, but they'd see me put this hair piece on. And one day, y'all, my 3-year-old handed me the hair piece because it was like in the room. He handed it to me before we left the room, right? Because that's my hairstyle. So I'm putting it on. And he handed it to me, y'all, like he handed me a hat. And I actually noticed within my body a reaction. I was like, I felt something. I felt like my heart broke. And it was funny too, but I was like, even though this is kind of funny, I'm like, why are you handing me this thing like you handed me a piece of clothing? And it's almost like I began to it was like symptomatic of something that was deeply rooted on the inside that I truly believe God was revealing to me. Like, Miriam, you think that you have to achieve or look like this, and I never made you to look like that. Somewhere deep down inside, the protective style became me protecting that more than my own protective hair or guarding my heart. Y'all know I got to put a little Bible in there, okay? Or a lot, because we need it. And so there's a scripture in Proverbs that says, guard your heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. And so in life, at some point, I internalized how I'm supposed to look based on societal expectations and projections. So I internalized this false beauty standard. And so the measure of hair that I think I needed to achieve kept on getting pushed back. But it was also a pushback against the authentic self that God wanted to reveal, because the way he made us is fearfully and wonderfully. Imagine he makes us fearfully and wonderfully, but because of a lie that we've internalized since Genesis, y'all, I'm telling you, since Genesis, right? Where even Satan was speaking to Eve with the language of inadequacy, thinking that she had to do something, fix something in order to be. And then we keep on measuring ourselves and then not hitting the measure and then feeling bad. But he's like, I never gave you that measure. As a matter of fact, release the measure, And so God was revealing something to me in that moment. All right. And essentially the summer came and I'm like, you know what? This is a whole nother summer. Time is going by. I'm getting older, but there are some beliefs that are still the same. And I said, Lord, I need help, because I don't know how to truly embrace the way that you made me, because clearly there are some scales on my eyes. What do I mean by scales? In the book of Job, he talks about this creature called Leviathan that is a prideful creature. But he talks about how the scales are so tightly woven that nothing can penetrate it. And Leviathan is known as the creature of pride. Okay. And so where nothing can penetrate, it may look like on just a human spectrum level, because that's spiritual, like just within your humanity, it may look like defending the extensions or the hair piece. Again, not coming for any wigs or hair pieces and extensions. I believe that those can really be protective styles, and there can be balance between people who are wearing their natural hair out and doing twist outs, and then using extensions as well, just changing things up. But what I'm talking about is I did not see my natural beauty. I just saw myself beautiful if my hair was straight. And that's not how my hair comes out my scalp. So clearly there were some scales that even if someone said your natural hair is beautiful, I was unable to receive it because those scales, okay? And it's interesting because sometimes we think of pride as just super boastful and it's so obvious, but pride can even be not even being able to receive a compliment or see yourself the way God sees you. So even the next time scales were mentioned, y'all, was in the New Testament. By the way, if you all want to join daily devotions, check out the link below, because Monday through Friday, I have this community called Define Your DNA Through Jesus, because we know our earthly DNA, but now it's time to know our spiritual DNA. And so I do it Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. EST, or you can catch the replay. So that way you have the right mindset. Jesus addressed the mind a lot throughout scripture. And so we got to get our minds right, and so that those scales can be removed. Okay. The link is below, y'all. Come and join. It's free. And there are other activities and memberships that I also have available as you may want to learn and grow and just have the right heart posture, understand your identity in Christ, because we can identify with a lot of trauma. I'm a therapist. I'm also a coach. So I know many times we know what happened to us or what somebody said, And those were seeds that led to weeds that now we need to uproot, okay? And we need help and community and the right place so that we can grow and blossom and become who God called you to be versus who they called you to be or how they called you to look, whoever they is. And they can represent anybody, okay? So the link is below. That being said, you all, the next time scales were mentioned were in the New Testament, where Paul, who was first Saul, had scales on his eyes. He was operating against God, thinking that he is in divine alignment. And God said, no, why are you persecuting me? Why are you doing what I've not called you to do? So it's so important for us to know our purpose. If we don't even know our purpose here on earth, the mission he sent us here for, misuse becomes inevitable. And many of us can be misaligned. And we're wondering, does it get better? Can I change? Is this all that there is in this relationship? Financially, is there anything good on the inside of me? So I love to empower women and help them heal. That's my purpose, right? Help them heal from the pain of their past so they can operate in power and in purpose, right? And know, again, the assignment that God gave them so they can walk in that assignment, okay? Instead of walking in cycles of fear and brokenness. God wants to heal us. And so, y'all, he led me on a 3-day fast. I'll post it right here. He led me on this 3-day fast, and I just could not put the wig back on. That happened this year at the top of the summer. Okay, so when I call it the Kairos interrupting the Chronos. It's like you have a God moment and the light bulb just goes off. Okay, and I just felt this strong unction. Just in case you wonder, does God speak to me? Do people hear? Like, let me know in the comments if you ever wonder, does God speak to you? Let me tell you, he does. And he's speaking to you even through this vessel, through this person right here, that he is calling you back to himself, because we can get so wrapped up in self-image or what people did. But God wants to do a new thing in you. He wants to give you a restart, a reset. Okay? He speaks to you. He speaks to us in dreams. He speaks to us in a variety of ways. Okay? And so I remember, talk about a dream, even a year ago, because I record my dreams. Over a year ago, I saw myself in these long locks. And I just was like, that's interesting. Never thought of me with locks. But he was showing me, he was giving me foresight of the future. Have you ever had a dream that came to pass where he was giving you foresight? Let me know. Again, if that has ever transpired, because a dream is not just a dream. It is, the Bible calls it a vision of the night. So is God speaking? He may be giving you insight, foresight of what is happening around you, or what he wants to heal, what he wants to reveal, what he wants you to pray about, pray against, all of those things. Okay. And so again, I had that dream about a year ago, but then I was led on a 3-day fast. Y'all, a 3-day fast is a transformational Esther fast. Okay. And 3 days later, I couldn't put the wig back on. I just couldn't. Okay. And so, and I didn't want to, but there was a healing, because fasting is about humbling our soul. Okay. Talk about humility is the opposite of pride, right? So he had to remove scales, and a part of my deliverance, okay, because your girl is in bondage. And we can go through seasons of deliverance, right? Where he's addressing this, he's addressing that, he's addressing people pleasing, where we need to be honest, and he's addressing relationship issues. And then now it's like he was addressing just self-image issues and how I saw myself. And so there was a humbling of the soul that needed my participation through the fast. And then he removed the scales from my eyes so I could see clearly now. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. You know the song? It was like that. It was like, it was murky. Like glasses that you're meant to see right, because without a vision, the people perish. But with those, it's like the glasses needed cleansing so that I could see. Because what's the point of having glasses on that's supposed to help you see that has all this dirt on it, all these speckles of dirt. And over the years, lies can be like dirt on glasses that's meant to help you see. But the glasses are like, they're supposed to be God's glasses. Like, they're supposed to be like these divine glasses that help you see, like almost like crystal clear about how you're supposed to conceive see yourself, or even see a situation that's happening in your life, so that situation isn't something you end up conforming to, thinking, oh, these marital issues, this is just how it is. These financial problems, health problems, this is just how it is. Yet you're a spiritual being. First Thessalonians 5:23. You're a spirit, soul, and a body. Okay. And so many times we're so acquainted with the body and the soul and all these specks of dirt that we can't see clearly. We forgot the vision. So now we're just going about life. But God will allow, I believe, a divine disruption to happen so that we plug back into Him, who helps us see ourselves, cleanse those glasses. Okay. He'll lead you on a fast, detox from social media, from friends, where there may be trauma bonding relationships, but it's not like divine building. It's not helping you cultivate. It's like more of a container than it is a cultivation. Okay, that's happening. And so suddenly you start praying, Lord, let your will be done. And the friends that are familiar drop off. The places that are familiar drop off. And we're like, Lord, everybody's dropping off. Where's Waldo? And He's like, where am I taking you, actually? I'm putting you in a place where you can finally hear me and see the situation correctly. Okay. And so I love it, y'all. I get passionate when I talk about it. But yeah, that was what happened. I always wanted to wear my natural hair. And the Lord said, you need to see it. You've been seeing your natural hair wrong. That I'm bringing right alignment. I'm renewing your vision. So after that, I began to actually courageously wear my natural hair out. And I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with it. Because now the scales are removed. Okay. And I started to do mini twists, and I did that for a month. And now I'm going to work out, because I started to notice that too. Like, either I'm working out with a wig on, and I'm like, I'm tired of working, and then making sure it don't fall off, or there's the gym hats, and I'm like, I want to go to the sauna. Like, that style, that protective style that I became more protective over, was now, it's like the real version of me had an allergic reaction to something that was old that needed to shed. Okay, talk about a new season, new life cycle, all of that. And so, and it took God to help me. So now I'm wearing my hair in natural mini twist, and I'm going to the sauna. I'm sweating. I love to sweat. I'm going to my workouts and going on jogs and nature trails. Downloaded this app, and now I'm just enjoying life again. I'm going kayaking and doing all these things, being outside, where a part of us, it's like a part of me was dormant, that and it needed to be awakened, because we can get so lost in the titles and motherhood and working, and feel some sadness and some grief. And it's because there was a part of me that wasn't alive, right? But God is all about living life abundantly. The enemy, John 10:10, comes not but to steal, kill, and destroy. But He came that we may have life, and life more abundantly. So He was like, let me breathe life upon you, that the dormant places in you, and He uses separation even from people who may even be nice people. But He will separate us from everybody so that we can be plugged into Him, and then life, He breathes life onto us and the dormant parts of us, because you're multifaceted. I'm multifaceted, and I needed separation from everybody. Sometimes it is an intentional isolation so that we can evolve. Like the caterpillar that you see yourself as, it's really a cocoon. He puts you in that season of isolation, and then so you can transform into that butterfly and fly. And that's what He did. And now I'm experiencing joy again, because there's a part of me that is alive again. And it's not contingent upon me just going on a vacation to the Caribbean island or this place. It's like, no, if you just really see, because now the scales are removed, nature that I've surrounded you with, go out and just enjoy life and just be, without thinking you got to be what society called you to be. But now it's this measure that you were never meant to hit. I never put that there. Okay. I mean, I hope the light bulb, let me know if you're having a light bulb moment. Okay. And so now I'm doing the mini twist. I'm living life abundantly. Okay. And nothing about my financial situation had changed. Nothing about like the things that we think need to change in order to be happy. The relationships. It's like, no, it's like, it was more so detachment season. Right. And so he's healing the relationship that I have with myself through growing in my relationship with God, right? With Jesus. Okay. And so when your way is not working, Jesus, John 14:6, he's the way, he's the truth, he's the life. No one comes through the Father except through him. So I had to realize my way is not working. But when you know the truth, it makes you free, like they say in court. Not just your truth, my truth, but the truth. He's the truth. So then I started doing twist outs. Okay. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know I had all this hair. I know right now, as you can see, and I'm purposely standing in front of my window and I have this ring light because I want you to see day 4, what it looks like. And I'm loving day 4. Whether it's, you feel like what they call the plucked chicken look or it's sparse, I'm just surrendered to the process. And I'm like, it's still cute. Okay. Like I'm loving it. I really like how it looks in a bun, but my loctician said, do not be doing too much, just let it be. And so it's like the last 3 months have really prepared me, because it's like a mental preparation for a new style, especially when you're so used to seeing your hair in a certain way. And then it's like, whoop, almost like it just went like it just shrunk in or something. It's like, whoa. And it can sometimes it can shake your confidence, or you're like, did I make the right decision? And I did. I really did. And so from the twist out, I also have a video here about Ayurvedic hair care and amla awakening dormant hair follicles. Even if you've never seen thick hair before, it thickens the hair. There are scientific studies and research that show that. Let me tell you, if you're like, but genetics say this, amla don't care what your genetics say. It will just do what it does, what God created it to do. So MSM, I talk about MSM, I talk about henna and the Lawson dye. And if I'm saying it right, I talk about all of that in that video. Okay. You can check that out as well. And how it just increased my hair length and thickness to my hair to even prepare me for these Sisterlocks. Okay. So then on August 1st, so that's what I did to prepare myself for the Sisterlocks. Then on August 1st, right, I got my Sisterlocks installed. So I did a consultation a couple months ago, and found the right person. At that consultation, you ask all the questions, and you want to ask questions, feel free to ask questions. How long have you had Sisterlocks or been doing Sisterlocks? And obviously they're going to tell you what the price is. The consultation is always in person so they can see how long your hair is. And at that time where my hair was 12 to 13 inches, and she had projected that my hair would then be 13 to 14 inches a month from then. And she had looked at one area of my hair because it was in mini twists, and she said it looks like medium density. But then when I prepared for my Sisterlocks to be installed the day before, of course, I took everything out. I had been actually wearing a twist out anyway. I washed my hair with just shampoo. That's what you're going to do. It's just shampoo. And then I put it in these 4 braids. And she said I actually have high density hair. And there was some, I think one area on the side where it was like lower density. But it's so interesting because I do think that the high density that I did reach is not something that was genetics. My mom struggles with some hair loss. And now I'm like, Mom, you got to try amla now. Because there are the studies that show even in rodents, okay, or women with alopecia, it grows back hair. So my mom has had alopecia. And I believe that, and I'm going to track her journey too, it can regrow dormant hair follicles. And so me doing the MSM in combination with the amla, and say you can't take MSM you can't take it, you can also put it on your scalp. Okay. And it's not medical advice, I'm just sharing what's worked for me. But I believe that the high density hair and all of that, that's not genetics, is because of the hair approach. And then whatever you want to grow, we got to love and show some TLC to. So I noticed that I began to also shift the language around myself. Because sometimes when we nice women also can be women who neglect themselves, and then can be some resentful women too. Okay, like that Martha-cism. I call it Martha-cism, where we make everything about us. And Martha went to Jesus with her solution, yet she went to the one with solutions. So you can be so good at so many things, but depleted by all of it. And so it takes divine interception. God is good. He's mindful of us. He knows what we carry. And he's like, I didn't even call you to carry that. That's why I have removed this person. I didn't call you to do this. That's why I'm detaching you from this, so that you can attach to me and know what you're supposed to carry in this season. So it's like, if all the seasons that happened even before the hair thing, it's like I wouldn't have been able to reach this season if I'm still trying to put all the pieces together that he's removed. And just letting the master, just put the pieces together. He's the potter, we the clay, okay? And so we don't know it all. We got to even admit, because I can come across like it just in helping just women who are so nice, but also, again, like just so weighed down. And, there's just this sadness that I feel, and just helping them see the situation through God's heart, which helps them get out of their head. But it can be very sophisticated women who is like, but this, but that, and rationalizing, because we can rationalize why we are right, but we can be strong and wrong. And that's also pride showing up. So, just God is so gracious that he has, and he's so merciful. He just takes us through these seasons, of deliverance. That's what I call seasons of deliverance and change. Because if I was disobedient or just wanted to just make things work within certain relationships that he said, hey, put a pause on that for right now, then I wouldn't have gotten to this just being my authentic self. It's like, no, let that fear of abandonment go, girl. He was healing fear of abandonment in me, fear of rejection, fear of criticism. And he's been doing that even the past 5 years. And it's been time. Transformation takes time, you all. And I'm so passionate about helping women grow. Okay. I have this 8-month butterfly effect program where I help women grow. When you commit, I'm telling you, it's an investment in yourself. If you're interested, again, you can start off by first just joining the standard community and join us for the daily devotions. So she's like, you got high density hair, girl. This is going to look good. And yeah, so my process was, here's the stats. Okay. If you came for the stats, I have 374 locks.
You are so beautiful and you shine so bright. You are so beautiful inside and out. A work of art, a masterpiece without a doubt. Your beauty shines from your soul to your skin. You are so beautiful, and I'm grateful to be with you within.
Okay. And she said that with Sisterlocks, you can have anywhere between 350 to 450 or something like that. And when she started to get into my hair and stuff, she was like, you have soft hair. It's healthy, but it's soft. It's fine hair. So yes, you have a lot of high density. You have a lot of hair strands, but this is also for the women, who have the fine hair, whether it's low density, high density. She was telling me I have fine hair, soft hair. So to be very careful, don't be trying to do extra with it. And my loctician just gave me very specific instructions. So she's like, so it took 26 hours over the course of 3 days. Okay. And I would recommend when you shampoo your hair that last day, because I had not been really combing through my hair. I've been doing finger detangling in the past month or so. I'd recommend detangling, right? Because I felt it that first day as she was getting, you feel it. I'm like, oof. And then she was like, how about you detangle tonight? I was like, how about I do that? So I did. Okay. And it felt so much better the remaining days. because there's some pulling with the interlocking method, or that is being used and all of that. So the detangling does help. And so that, yeah, so she said I have fine hair, high density hair, and she doesn't want me spraying any water on it. She said, I know that these are the trends that are happening. She has Sisterlocks herself. She's had them for 8 years. She has like 390 locks. They're long. They are long. Like, I'd say like down here, bra length or something like that. And so looks so good. So anyways, all right. So I just want to get even closer just to show you my grid. I know I've explained a lot, but I just really wanted to make this as thorough as possible. But now just showing you my grid pattern right here. This is what I have going on day 4. Okay. She said, don't spray nothing. Don't spray nada. And if at all possible, wait until my 4 weeks where I do my retie. To wash my hair, and that she would do it. And I'm okay with that. But if I need to wash it, it's going to be a clarifying shampoo. And I have to braid and band, right? To prevent slippage from happening. So those are the instructions. And if I'm working out, which your girl's going to work out. I've been working out. I'm not going to stop it for hair, right? So, and it's fine. Like, there's just instructions for that. And so when you're working out, before you work out, it's braid and band, and not doing the braid so like tight, it's hair love, hair care, self-care, all of that, and so that is what we doing while feeding ourselves healthy foods. God has me, this is my birthday month too, and just really making eating healthy foods a lifestyle, like not a diet. It's just something that we should be doing. If you're tired, even though you're sleeping 8 hours, maybe we need some beets, some spinach, some iron. And that could be confirmation for somebody right now. But this is the grid. This is what we have going on right here. So I'm here for the journey. I'm excited for the journey. This is like the middle part. And then it swells, as we know. Like, this is just day 4. They begin to look very different. And so I'm excited about the journey. I'm not gonna, I'm going to follow the instructions, right? I'm mentally prepared for how it looks. It's still an adjustment, y'all. Part of me is like, oh my goodness. Like, I felt like a little sadness right before the day I got it installed, because I'm looking at my natural hair and I'm like, wow, what have I been missing? But again, God makes everything beautiful in His time. And that beautification is an inside job so that we can see ourselves correctly. He removed the dirt and the specks so I could see myself right, And now I'm excited for this journey. It's a new chapter, of just loving the person that God has created me to be, and the deep call into the deep. Real recognizes real, and we serve a real God. It's not even about measuring or like having this goal of being authentic, than it is just embracing who God has called us to be. Now we're not withholding honesty. We're having healthy conversations. We're having hard conversations respectfully. We're setting healthy boundaries, be it with time, finances. If you need help with that, y'all come on into the community. This is your time, okay? So I like this like little side part right here. I've been doing that. Not doing too much, but I'll do that. I put a bonnet on at night. And that is pretty much it. So if you would like to join the journey, please subscribe, okay? Like, you can share this video with someone who's had questions about Sisterlocks, or maybe this is confirmation for you to help you make the decision about Sisterlocks. But I'm just really excited to reach the hair goals, because I'm I'm letting my hair flourish. I'm getting that vitamin D. I'm eating healthy. I also take amla. The amla that I have, I put in some water and I drink it. It's a kind that you put in lattes. It's just Indian gooseberry, and it's very rich in vitamin C. And so it's so good. It's so good. I'm gonna just keep amla, and then now because I'm not putting anything on my scalp, right? Because I was doing the hair mask. Now I'm going to be ingesting it. So, and that's what I've been doing actually the past month or so. So I'll do one more 360 for y'all to make sure I'm thorough. This is what we're working with here. I hope you all saw that well. So that's it. You all take care. Be blessed. Shalom.